Beautiful people, this is Major. Welcome to. I don't know why this is so silly right now. Okay.
I don't know. No, this isn't so silly. You are so silly.
No, look, listen, this is it's delirium. So we're going to let me catch my breath before I
Take
get into
50.
this. Okay. Okay. Give me the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown with your hands.
You know what? I know what's going on. Okay, hold on. Let me. You didn't respond to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let me do this. You probably need a.
Hey.
No.
Hey, beautiful people. This is Major, my mama's favorite hope dealer, and you are watching episode 3 of The Hope in Between with Major and Eunice Elliott. I am super excited to get into this episode. We are 3 in, Eunice. This is worthy of some applause, some goodness, some happiness, some hooray. We did that.
We
We're
did
doing
that.
that.
I appreciate it. 3 episodes in. This is now my longest one.
The Hope in Between is a podcast that is intentioned to provide you midweek relief because life be lifing, and I know we all need it. So you're welcome. Eunice, let's before we talk about our week, our weekend thus far, let's just get into present moment. I want everybody watching, everybody listening to lock in with me so that we catch our breath. A deep breath in, let it out. Deep breath in, let it out. How are you feeling? What has the day been? What was it? Anything pulling on you? Anything needing your attention? Anything trying to take your attention? Whatever it is, good or bad, let's take it all in. Deep breath. And we let it out. All right. I just want you to understand there is power in you reclaiming your time, your moment, your energy, your focus. Never let life rush you so much so that you don't take a moment to catch your breath. That is for the parents, that's for the children, that's for the students, that's for the teachers, the professionals, that's for the community workers, the caretakers, that's for our elders, that's for everyone. Breath was meant for us to take it as often as possible. Yeah, I feel better now. Eunice, let's get into the recap of our weekend and our week, starting with you. What's been going on?
All that breathing and quiet. You almost lost me, buddy. You almost
I
heard.
know, right? You are.
You might
It's
want me to start
wild.
talking
Yeah,
so I can stay awake.
yeah.
I'm actually wonderful. Still on this comedy tour. In addition to the other things I do during the week, in between the weekend. So, this past weekend we were in Schenectady, New York, Philadelphia, PA.
Schenectady?
Schenectady,
Wow. How do you spell it?
with letters. What is this? What are we talking about?
Schenectady.
Schenectady,
Wow.
Philadelphia, and then we closed out the weekend at Montclair, New Jersey. And let me say, all the shows have been going so well. I'm traveling with Matt Matthews. And I always like to point out the audience, there's not a lot of Black folks in the audience, or I would say any people of color in the audience. I would say out of maybe 1,500 people, you may have 10, maybe. That would be on a big night. And it's always refreshing to introduce an audience who may not have had the honor of knowing a fly Black chick like me. And I take on the responsibility. And guys, I'm not letting them down. So for all you other fly Black chicks, I'm spreading fly Black chick gospel across the country. And they
Yeah,
find out, who is
absolutely.
this? And then after the shows, they want to be my best friend. They want to take pictures. They buy my merch. And I love that because it's a complete transition from when I first come on stage and they're like, who this is, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's very affirming. Even in New Jersey, they had a little restaurant bar right next to the theater. And so me and some friends walked next door and the whole bar started cheering because they had been in the show. And it was like it was my surprise birthday. I was like,
Oh, wow.
what? So it's been very humbling. It's been beautiful. Also, and I didn't know I knew that many people in New Jersey. Like I had 6 friends on my guest list to the show. And I was like, I didn't even know New
Oh,
Jersey
that's
was a
lit.
thing. Yeah. So it
That's
has
lit.
been really good.
You have
What
any
about you?
so you had friends, did you have any friends in Connecticut?
Schenectady, no. I have friends in Philadelphia
Schenectady.
and I had friends in Jersey. And actually one of the friends from that was there in Philadelphia drove over from DC. This upcoming weekend, I'm in Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Concord, New Hampshire.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
will have a friend at the Pittsburgh show and at the New Hampshire show. No Baltimore yet. Where's Baltimore? Where
Oh,
you at?
Baltimore, you're gonna have some friends that pop up. I love doing shows in Baltimore. I love doing shows in Philly. But I want to say congratulations for you realizing that you belong in the spaces that your gift has taken you. Like
Yeah.
it's really awesome to feel that. I know what that feels like, and it hits every time. And I don't want you to lose that. It's going to continue to affirm you and sober you and like, yeah, this is what
I
purpose looks
received
like.
that.
This is what, yeah.
Yeah, it's that moment where I received that from you. Thank you. It's one of those things where I see other people reacting to my journey more than I react to it, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. Because you know,
Yeah.
when it's you, you're just trying to get to the next thing. You're just trying to get to the next thing, and you still don't have the answer for the last thing. And other people are like, "Wow," and "Whoa," and "Look," and that, and you're like, "Yeah, yeah, cool, cool, cool." I got to figure this out. So
Right.
sometimes I enjoy it more through other people's experience of it. Yeah.
But I think that that's what humanity was intentioned to be, a
Hmm.
gift to one another. But most of the time, a lot of us have gotten to a point through maybe jaded experiences or life, and we try to hoard, the experiences, and we don't think that the sharing is necessary because it's like, if it was frustrating me, I don't need to put this on anybody else. But it's like, no, dispense it, give it out, because that's what connects us and gives people permission to fully be in their experiences, and because they say, oh wow, I get I
And
get
you
it,
know, the other
amen.
thing the other thing they get to say, I know several people got to say it today, that when I do get back in town and I have to run my errands and go get groceries or go get things, and I don't look like this when I do that. And they're like, "Wait, she just made a post and she was on stage and she was and is that her?" And I'm like, "Mind your business."
Mind your business. Mind your
I
business,
call
that's all,
I
just
call
mind your
my
business.
look an actual costume because when I don't look like this, I don't look like this.
Listen, you can, that's the beauty of black women. They can do all the things and do it well, and
Yes.
in every form and every bit of the scale. So uh
But thank you. It's
congratulations.
always fun to go out of town. It's even more fun to come back to you and see what you've been up to since last we checked.
Absolutely. Well, we just moments ago I was up to googling how to spell Schenectady, and it is Schenectady. Schenectady.
There you
That's
go.
impressive.
And guess what? You only have to
Hmm.
say skin a titty once for someone to correct you. Carry on. It only takes one time for you to learn what it is.
Noted.
Okay.
Noted,
Okay.
noted, noted.
Mhm.
So yeah, as for me, this past weekend, I was invited back to Atlanta, Georgia, to the state of Georgia, on behalf of the Harris campaign, to do some more campaigning, and specifically in the faith-based communities,
Mhm.
to get souls to the polls. And whew, it was absolutely incredible. It's so exciting to see how many folks from different walks of life are moving in collective mobilization to champion what the Harris Walls ticket means for America. It is a beautiful thing. This is not a political podcast, but of course, when we talk life, politics are a part of it. So, in this season, the turbulence is wild, but let me tell you, there was a lot of joy, there was a lot of hope in the atmosphere. So I did a lot of that. Shout out to Revelation Missionary Baptist Church, where a female pastor, Pastor Thompson, and her husband Reggie are in leadership there, and an incredible organ player by the name of Lloyd Buchanan. What a name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lloyd Buchanan. I got to meet him. He's over their music, and he also plays with the Alabama Shakes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this
Oh, I love
brother,
Alabama Shakes. Yeah.
right? Woo, listen, this brother is cold with it, and I'm excited to see where his future takes him. But it was an incredible time. Funny situation, my track, I gave the wrong track to the audio team. I actually gave them the vamp of the song Joy in the Battle that I was singing. And
Now,
so
what does that
it's like
mean? The vamp. What does that
the
mean? The
vamp
vamp.
is like, the added tail into a song when something's repeated, like after a song finishes, like, it's like the improv added piece
Mm-hmm.
to recap the song. And so yeah, I gave him that, and it's playing. And mind you, I'm up there and they give me a specific slot of time, and I'm like, oh, I said that's not the right track. I gave the wrong track, and all I can hear is this inner voice, and for the saved folks, we know that's Holy Spirit, but that inner voice said, just go with the flow. Just flow with it. And so I'm like, joy on me. Got that joy on me, joy on me, joy on me. Got that joy on me, joy on me. The whole church is singing it. And then I told Lloyd, I said, Lloyd, just follow me. And he follows me as if he knows a song. And I go into joy in the battle. I'm just a man who's lost some things and left with memories. I'm just a man who's growing old. I've made some friends along the way. I've made some enemies, but I pray they're all good in their soul. I got joy in the battle. Everybody went crazy. Joy in my victory. Yeah, it was so cool. It was so cool. It was a movie, and it literally felt like what we are called to do in life, and that is to show up with the best of what we have. Perfection has never been the call, but the best of who you are and what you are in the moment is all that life is requiring of you. And it was beautiful. Um, yeah, we were in Columbus, Georgia for that specific moment. And it was incredible. Then went to a concert with Maverick City. They packed out the State Farm Arena, which was pretty amazing. The same
Wow.
arena that I was just at last week for Stevie,
For
singing with
Stevie
Stevie
Wonder, I
Wonder.
know. Wait, hold on. Let me put my toes away. Hold on. Go ahead. You can keep dropping them names and stuff. Go ahead.
Am I?
Okay.
Am
I'm
I?
good.
Am I drop? Did I drop
I,
something?
I, I'm good now. I
Oh,
moved
a
them.
name, a name. So yeah,
Oh, you
Stevie
remember the
Wonder.
arena where I was with Stevie Wonder last weekend? You remember
Nah,
that
but
time?
it was so crazy. No, have you heard of Maverick City?
I have.
They are really amazing. Like
Hmm.
their whole movement, they became really popular. They started up a kind of really launching during the pandemic when everything was virtual. And to see what it's amassed to, a sold out stadium first night in Atlanta, it was incredible. Shout out to my guy, Brunis Charles, who actually used to play with me a lot, but he's now the MD for them. But he made sure I had tickets. Beautiful time. The Spin Awards, Radio Spin Awards, because I'm gearing up for a release of my new single. I prayed for you. Shameless plug. But anyway, it's been incredible. We are now 6 days away from a very important election
Hmm.
day that will mean the difference,
And
and
regardless of the outcome, our lives will never be the same.
will never be the same. I hope in the best way, Yes, I'm praying in the best way. Yes. Yeah. Ah, man, it's a turbulent time right now. It's turbulently divisive. I don't know if turbulently is even a word, but you get what I'm saying. It's all of
Mhm.
that and then some. And I just want people to realize that love and character is on the ballot, well as policy that actually works. So let's just be mindful, y'all. Let's just be mindful. It'll make the difference of your kids, your grandkids, your cousins, your nieces, nephews, your grandparents. Like it makes a difference. Us, yeah. All right. I don't want to go too
I know
deep into
he's
that.
about to do it, y'all. You see him just pausing?
I
Hmm.
don't want to go too deep in that, Eunice.
Well, I
Let's
wanna
get on
shout
something
out
else.
your hot pink hope hat.
This is, this is a limited edition part of my merch collection of the Major Hope collection where you can, get the green, the brown, and the black at majorhopefoundation.org. But I'm wearing the hot pink for the advocacy, the awareness month that is breast cancer awareness month. I see you with your pink. You wore pink last week as
I
well,
had on
so
pink last
I got to
week. I
give
have
you
a little
credit.
pale for the blush, a little bit of a
Yeah.
blush today. I don't wear a lot of pink because it tends to drown me out. Because I'm between the rosy cheeks and just the sweet
Ah,
disposition, the cotton
ah,
candy nature of the
yeah.
hair. I
Ah,
Pink is too much. It's too much.
ah. Listen. We salute everyone in the battle, the journey, the uphill fight against cancer, breast cancer, cancer of any kind. But I want to, highlight it because I do believe this political season has kind of overshadowed the annual recognition of that movement. Breast cancer awareness is very important. It not only affects women, but it also affects men. But specifically, the women, it's a high percentile that are impacting the women of color, black women, and
Mhm.
so we want to really put our money and our support behind research and advocacy so we can find cures to just clear this thing up. um yeah, I'm praying for the folks that are enduring. You're not forgotten. You're not alone in this thing. We love you even more. I actually have a song. I know I always go to that, but I've been doing this thing for a minute. But me and Brandy released that's another one.
Mhm.
Brandy Norwood released a version of Even More, my song Even More, that was dedicated to cancer awareness. And if you watch the video on YouTube, you'll see this beautiful video that actually Nicholas, famous artist, illustrator, Nicholas, did for us. And so, yeah, I just salute to everybody in the battle. Cancer is not your name. Cancer is not your name. Yeah. All right.
I want to say something as the producer of this fine podcast. I want to explain something to our listeners and our viewers if you're watching. So, producing this podcast is a treat, and it's hard, and it's the easiest thing I've ever done because I won't show you guys like the rundown, but working with Major, all I have to write at the top of the page is go, because he can talk, he can sing,
I'm
but
so sorry.
as the
I'm so
producer,
sorry.
I'm like, we already been on the podcast for 20 minutes. He ain't said nothing on that we, the rundown. We 20
Listen,
minutes in.
no, that's not true. We have done the rundown. We have run we are just 5 minutes
I'm
beyond
messing with
one of
you.
the
No,
section.
it's but that's what I like about you. I like that you. So as someone who talks a lot of times men are just exacerbated by words. They feel like women don't have word limits, and why should we? And so it's refreshing to have banter and conversation with somebody who got daytime and nighttime minutes. So.
Listen, my therapist likes to classify it as emotional intelligence.
Oh, is
You're
that what?
welcome.
Oh, well, you should. Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
Oh my goodness. Listen, let's get into
And
the
I also have
theme.
something else for our viewers.
Okay.
I have taken off the glasses. This is for the viewers. The listeners, you didn't know I've been wearing my glasses because I wanted to see them, but I know what it looks like now. I
Oh
realized when I would
wow.
see it in playback, how would anybody know how adorable I am? So
You
this
are
is for all of
adorable.
you. And also, so Major knows a lot different people than I know. And sometimes I'll see these big names clicking like whatever. I'm like, girl, take them glasses off. You just think you talking to the people you know, girl. Stop it.
No, actually, it's a cool look. Both are really cool. I mean, it's not like you've got these glasses that are not fashionable. They make a cool statement.
Well, you
Yeah.
know.
I think this is good for this episode for them to see your face. And if you want to put your glasses
Well,
back
they'll be
on
back
later,
next week. They'll
do
be
it.
back. I just
Yeah,
wanted to
because
make
then
an
listen.
announcement. Like I said, hello, hey, let's do the podcast without our glasses. And I don't know if you can see me over here making notes saying, go back to see what he said at 12:13. I can't see what he said.
Wow. Listen, at the 40 age mark, I am in need of my glasses a whole lot more. It is wild, but people on stage even they're like, I saw you looking at me and the audience, and I'm like, yeah, yeah,
Sure.
that was you. That
Were
was
you there?
you. Listen, nah, if you're not right up in front of me, you most likely won't be seen. But I do feel I have this sense of there's somebody in the room that needs this moment, and I'm going to sing to it. And generally, they end up making themselves known, and it's a beautiful connection. But let's get into our theme for today: shooting your shot, personal and business. Should you always shoot your shot or not?
What do you think? What do you think?
This is really good. So, uh, mm, I'll just say this straight out the gate.
Okay.
You miss every shot you don't take.
Mm-hmm.
You will miss every shot you don't take.
But there is victory in the assist sometimes.
Woo! You put that down. That don't try to act like that just naturally came to
No,
you.
that really
You
just
wrote that down ready to
no,
share.
that seriously just came up. Because that is a very popular saying. You miss every shot you don't take, but sometimes it ain't your shot to take. And you hit a buzzer and you supposed to pass the ball. That was not your shot to take. So
That's
that's the
that's a
question.
very
That's the
that's a
question.
very
Should you always shoot your shot?
I mean, it actually goes to our episode theme of last week when we're talking about kindness requires discipline too. In all things, anything that takes from you, anything that comes from you requires a stewardship, a discipline, a discernment so that you choose well, a wisdom that informs, okay, this is the moment to go for it. Because if I'm just flagrantly shooting something or shooting at something with no intention or no mindfulness of that's what I want, you might end up with stuff that you're not ready to handle.
Hmm.
Woo!
You know what? I'm a.
Stop for a second.
He
Stop,
got to do his
God dog it.
own. He do his own applause.
Because you know what? Because you know what be happening. It's this the flow be going, and it'll just like quicken me because it's like, are you listening? Are you listening to what
Mm-hmm.
you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because we're
Because
always talking to ourselves when we're talking
mm,
to each other. And a lot of
right.
times you and I, we will start talking. I'll say, stop talking. I'm pressing record. Because we just naturally go into these moments where it's like, oh, what is
Ah,
that? But this is the thing. And I've had to learn this in different stages of my life. And we're talking about personal and professional. A lot of times people say, shoot your shot. You're thinking just try to talk to somebody in a romantic way. But I mean, I've had situations where shots should not have been taken. I've had times where I didn't take a shot, but someone threw me the assist, and it was like, okay, I guess I'm taking the shot. So it's been a lot of situations that I can look back in my life and I can see when it served me, I can see when it didn't serve me, and I can see how it causes me to move. And it also shows me how I interact with other people when I see them shooting their shot with me, romantically, professionally. I can tell. And I think that took courage. And a lot of times I like to reward people for the courage it takes to shoot a shot.
that
Um,
part.
yeah.
That
And I'm
part.
honored to be a part of that. Yeah.
I actually live my life in that space, and it's often confused with confidence or arrogance. And
Okay.
it's not for me that I'm always confident or even arrogant. It is literally, I will miss every shot I don't take.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if this is something that you want, Major, how do you think you're going to get it?
Right.
Because even if somebody brings it to you, you have to express want to receive it. Like it's
Mhm.
not going to just land and agree with you unless you express agreement that that is the very thing that you want in your space or for you. And it's wild because I'm very bold, and I think I had to learn that as being a sibling of 13 siblings, a blended family
Mhm.
growing up in a household of 10 of us. It was you, if you want more leftovers, if you want this or that, you better claim it before you miss out on it. And so it helped me in life to speak up for the things that I want. And oftentimes I'm also speaking up for things other people want on their behalf, and I have to be disciplined in not everything is meant for me to do it. But I have found that moving in courage, which is really where I move from, it's not always confidence and it's absolutely not arrogance, but it's courage, because on this other end of courage is often a win, almost always. And when I go through my track record, my history of courage results, it's always, it was worth it. It was
Courage
worth the
results.
shot. Yeah, yeah.
Courage results. That's an interesting way to catalog the memories of the journey. The
Mm,
courage results, right? Because you also probably have a list of courage wasn't popping that day and I regret it, you know? And
yeah.
my courage comes from this idea that I can live with disappointment but not regret. So it might not go the way I want, but at least I won't have to wonder what if or wish I had.
Stop playing. Say that bar again. You
I
can
can
live.
live, I can absolutely live with disappointment, but I cannot live with regret. And regret is that thing that will eat you up from the inside out. It's the thing that causes you the depression because you keep replaying the story that will never play again. It's the toothpaste you can't put back in the tube. Now, you can do that thing, you can shoot that shot, and it goes potentially horribly or just not the way you want it. You never have to wonder about that. You either know not to do that again or you know how to do it differently, but that is still going to be a courage result. Is that, you know what? I know not to do that no more, but I'm glad I got that out of my system. I'm glad I went
That's
to go
right.
check that out. I'm glad I know and don't have to wonder about that anymore. I'm glad I got that experience. I'm proud of that scar from that moment. I'm good with that. So
Yo,
that is my life.
bars.
That is my life, is a lot of scars, a lot of disappointments, but really no regrets. And let me say this about not having regrets. Okay. I can wake up and not do something or not act on something that I want to do. And the thought of regret will start eating me alive. I promise you. And it's one of
Mm,
those things where I'm I told you I'm in rewrites for several scripts. Well, I probably haven't been as intentional as I should be with the time, but it's because I'm doing housework and I'm traveling. But it's starting to eat at me of, if you don't do this, this will be one of your first and largest regrets in life. And so that is usually what makes me take the leap, is that, this is starting to feel like it'll be a regret if I don't do it. And if I don't do it now, so let's get on it. So I can tell you, that's happening and it's in real time. And so it's my warning signal of, oh, it's getting done, because it's about to start bothering you that it hasn't. And we're not promised
I
tomorrow. We're not
can
promised more
live
time.
with
And so you better get it done now, now, now.
I can live with disappointment, but I can take disappointment, but I cannot live with regret.
Yeah. Now I didn't make that up,
Wow.
but that's
That's someone.
fact.
Okay, it's been
What
said.
you were about to, oh yeah, well, me and my Angela said it. I don't know who said it originally.
Well,
But
I will say this. I will say this. Profoundly, it also connects to a famous quote by one of my heroes, the master hope dealer, uh, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." Because at the end of the day, there will be disappointments, there will be misses, there will be this didn't work, this didn't happen, this didn't go the way that I want. But if we allow the chapter or the story to end there, we miss out on the infinite possibilities of another or a better coming back around for us. And so I love that you said it, because you'll never know unless you go. It is the I can take disappointment. I can take disappointment. I can take this I can take disappointment, but I can't live with regret, because regret eats up at you.
Mhm.
It eats
And
away
we're
at
all
you.
fearful, right? And so we use the term courage because it doesn't mean, I don't like when people say, "You're just so fearless." I'm afraid all the time. I just do it
Right.
anyway. So
That's
I'm
it.
courageous because I do it.
Woo!
It's not that I'm not afraid.
That's
I do it afraid.
that's it. That's it. It is not the absence of nervousness. It's not the absence of fear. It is the boldness of, I'm going to go for it anyway, in the face of fear, in the face of trepidation. It is, oh my gosh, that is so good, because I think every visionary, from the small business owners to the creatives uh to the writers, the future TV show producers and creators, this is the message for you. Courageously go at it. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Choose joy anyway. You don't need permission of all the things lining up for you to go at it. Do it anyway. Because what ends up happening is there's an agreement with resources, where resources are attracted to the person that leaps. It's
Mhm.
attracted to the person that goes, because it can't be attracted to the person that's not moving. And the leap is the movement. Movement attracts, it attracts the resources. It
Yep.
attracts
That's
the
so crazy
tool.
to say. I never heard that. Movement attracts the resources. And it makes, immediately I started thinking we wouldn't have a Boeing 757 if we were all afraid to fly. We wouldn't have the parachutes. We wouldn't have the bridges. We wouldn't have this. Most of the world wouldn't exist if we didn't jump, if we didn't leap,
Yo,
if we didn't fly.
you're whew, you're already on it. You're already on it.
I received it. I received it. And wait, let me say this too. Fear is in all of us, and it's also the least unique or interesting thing about everyone. So don't let your fear become your personality, because imagine being at an event, at a dinner party, and you're telling someone about this great idea, this great dream, and you got them hooked, and they're like, and then what happened? And the response is, I was too afraid to try. I never did it.
fear. Listen,
It's not
fear and
interesting. It's your fear is not interesting. I want to hear you say, I was scared to death, and let me tell you what I did. That's the story.
fear and his goofy sister anxiety are emotional commitments to the things that have not been, that are not, and may not ever be.
Mhm.
It's an emotional commitment to the not yet. Why are we giving our energy that direction?
Mhm.
Why are marrying our energy, marrying our brilliance, marrying our purpose to something that hasn't even arrived yet?
Mhm.
Fear is not a friend. It's not a friend. And I'm just I've been doing this hope dealer stuff for a long time, and I actually have a track on fear with my Major Hope motivations and pep talks. Major Hope pep talks, where you can get anywhere, but we talk about that fear. It's not a friend. Stop
Mhm.
dancing with it. You can
Yes.
acknowledge it for a little bit, because that's just the acknowledgement that you are human. But courage is a rewarder to the one who champions it. Lean into it. Lean into courage. Go anyway.
Go
Your
anyway,
resources will
do it
meet you on the
anyway.
other side
Yes,
of it.
yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I can't remember the name of this book now, but I remember it was talking about fear, and it said, "Listen, fear cannot book your travel. Fear can't plan the itinerary. You're gonna bring fear with you, but baby, you sit in the back seat. You don't even get to pick what song we hear. Okay, so but you here with
It
me.
will
You going
only
for
be
the ride
luggage.
because I can't do it without you. But you don't get to pick any of the things that we do on this trip. You're there, and eventually, fear is starved out.
It
Fear,
is, and
fear ain't getting
whew,
the attention. Fear ain't got as much to say because you don't let it plan your trip. You don't let fear make the itinerary of your life. It'll be there. It just won't be as powerful. It won't be as emboldened. It won't be as, you know how somebody say, "Oh, you act like this your trip." It's like fall back, fall back. I know you there, but no, I don't have a meal to feed you. I don't have a song to play for you, and I'm not gonna give you too much attention. But you're here.
it starts with a decision, and it's a decision in each moment. When we did the prayer, beautiful people that are listening, and for those that are watching, when we did that moment of collecting our breath, of being present in it, that is that intentional moment. Because oftentimes, what fear wants to do is lay out a course of your day. It
Mm,
wants to lay out a course of your week when you haven't even arrived to that to that day in the first place. And so it's about one conscious intentional decision that I'm going to do it anyway, and watch how the next moment rewards you for
mm,
making that choice to do it anyway.
mhm.
Oh, that is good.
I want to.
That
I want
right.
to say. I want to give a couple examples of shot shooting that have popped in my head in different categories. I
Let's
remember. I'm not
go.
going to say this person's name, but back in the day when I was a publicist for professional athletes, a friend of mine met a really big athlete, and this athlete was interested in working with her. So I was giving her the information she needed to create a good presentation for him, for her to have this situation. She invited me to come along. She said, "Well, just come with me," and I knew it was her opportunity. I kind of prepped her for it, and we were sitting there, and after the meeting went over, and I was conscious of just kind of chilling, but she would have to defer to me a lot because he would ask questions that she didn't have the answer to. And I would say, "Oh, yeah, you remember?" And I would just defer. Um, the next day, his manager called and says, "Well, he wants you, not your friend." And
Ooh.
I had to call her and I said, "Listen, that was not my opportunity. And I'm fine with saying no." And she said, "Absolutely not. That was for you." She's like, I was trying to make it happen just because of who it was, but I'm not the person that needs to do this for him. You are. So that was one. Another one is it was stand up comedy. And I don't know if
Wow.
it's like this in music, but sometimes you might ride with a friend who has a show. You're not on the show. You're just kind of riding. And, a lot of sometimes women comics will ride together. And I generally will say, no, I don't want to perform when I show up to a club. And somebody say, "Oh, do you want to go up? Oh, do you want some time?" I always say, "No, I just came to watch." And I used to do that until, let me tell you who cured me of that. And that is Marlon Wayans. I would go to his shows and he would say, "Hey, you going up?" And I'd be like, "No, I just came to see you." And after maybe me saying that two or three times, two or three different cities over the years, he finally said, "Hey, when I offer you the stage, take it." And now when I go to his shows, I'm dressed because I'm performing. That
Did
was
you
it.
just
It was
hear
that
that?
moment.
Did you just hear that?
Mm-hmm.
That is literally the statement of life,
Mm-hmm.
the statement of destiny, the statement of divine orchestration. When I offer you the stage,
Mm-hmm.
take it.
Take it.
Wow.
And I've been on his stages ever since. Like I don't go now even imagining that I'm not on stage. Right. And then the last one just happened to me a few weeks ago. It wasn't my shot. I was speaking at the university that I've been invited to several times, not like the one you attended that never invites you, but I was speaking at,
Berkeley ain't never called me.
oh, I didn't want to bring it up, but since you mentioned it,
Call them out.
since you mentioned it. So there was a young lady in the room. They have this mentoring society. And she came up to me and she said, "Would you consider joining this mentoring society?" I said, "I'm not familiar with it." She tells me the name of it. And she said, "But if you got in it, could you be my mentor?" And I was like, "Well, hold on, slow down." The advisor was standing there. She said, "I'll send you some information on it." The advisor sent me the information on the mentoring program. She said, "I have a student in mind for you." I responded to her and said, "Okay, I've completed the information, but the student, if it's not this student, then either I need to have two students or you just need to make sure it's this student." And I got paired with this student who shot her shot. And I'm so proud of her for being in that audience, introducing herself to me, telling me about something that could help serve her on her journey. She also sent me an Instagram message the same day saying, "I hope you're able to look into it and be available." And now she is officially my mentee through this program. And I'm proud of her. And I'm so excited to be a part of her learning earlier on. Shoot your shot. It might be the yes that you're looking for.
I I think it's amazing because I remember you sharing the possibility of working with her, and you were that was one of your standout moments of her actually coming up to you
Hmm.
and being proactive and speaking out on what she would love to happen, and which took courage, and and also when you were reached out to by administration asking you if you'd like to be a part of this, and you specifically saying, there was one
Hmm.
that had the courage to come to me and
Exactly.
literally ask me if I would be interested in this. And I would love to be their mentor. See,
Hmm.
that's the reward. And I want people to see that that student benefits, benefits from her courage simply because she took the shot. So these are the things. These are the. This is what Eunice is bringing and making clear. Like you won't be able to experience this stuff lest you go for it.
But what you said, if you don't make the move, the resource won't show up. She made the move. I had no
She
choice
made
but
the
to show up.
move.
I
She
had
made the
no
move.
choice because she made that move. How could I say, well, I was going to say, no, I don't want to do it. No, I don't want you to be my, it was like, oh, she explained to me what it was. They sent me the information. It was a done deal based on her move.
Wow,
I didn't really
that's
have a whole lot to
incredible.
do in that. Yeah.
That's absolutely incredible. I think most of the experiences in my life came by way of me just going for it. Um, Now, the way the reward is delivered comes in a packaging beyond my expectation. And I love that too.
Hmm.
So I want to encourage other people like when you go for something, sometimes you may think that the reward has to look a certain way, but sometimes it comes in a packaging that's even better and sweeter for you. So just be open to receive the reward, however it comes.
The beauty
Be
in
open.
that, the beauty in that is I want the things I dream of, but the things I don't even know of to dream, I'm more available to. But bring me that, right? Because we can only dream of things we've consumed in some way. I have not consumed the greatest parts of the universe yet. And so
Mm.
I'm conscious of when I'm dreaming, I say, well, this is what I'm working on. I don't know what that's going to look like on the back end, but I'm open and available to whatever it could be. Because sometimes, you say, give me $10 and they give you $10, but they had 100 waiting on you. You just
Right.
asked for 10. So I say, give me some money. Well, give me what you got.
Give me.
Give me what you got.
Listen, you'd be surprised how many people have missed out on opportunities simply because they didn't ask.
Or
Simply
they
because
asked
they
too
didn't because
small. They asked
yeah.
too small.
Stop. Are you trying to call me out?
Listen, I had somebody tell me your ceiling is somebody else's floor.
That's right. Because if it felt a little personal when you just said that.
Well,
Because I think
well, I
I
wasn't gonna bring up
remember a
nothing
situation.
personal. So if you
Yeah,
convict me, that's on you.
I remember a situation where someone spoke on my behalf to request an accommodation that was appropriate, and
Mhm,
me not wanting to seem too grand,
mhm,
you had to help me realize, no, this is what you want,
mhm.
this is what you want, and this is what you deserve. So
I didn't know you
it,
received that in that moment. Look at
oh
you.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, we
Oh, I
apologize for what we want all the time. And so one day you have to wake up and say, I'm not irrational. I'm not greedy. I'm not rude. I'm not boastful. So if I'm asking for it, I deserve it. I'm prepared for it. I will care for it. So why wouldn't I ask?
what's interesting is I think that society has gotten us to a point where we are not bold enough because of jaded experiences before and systemic realities that have forced us to believe that deficit or that the grand possibilities are not supposed to be our portion. And I just want to encourage the people that are in seats of experiences that have been underserved of resources or underserved in opportunity, that you are deserving of every hope, every dream, every faith fulfilled. You are worthy of that. By grace, you are worthy of that. From a racial perspective, I think that that's another thing that is actually one of the motivating factors of people that are not, boldly voting a certain way, because they're like, well, what does it matter? I'm never going to get this, so I'm just going to vote this way. And I just want to help you realize that that imagination that you have was not placed in you to never be realized or experienced. Go for the greater, go for the better, go for the bigger, and watch where you land. I'm telling you, I know it from experience. I come from what statistically would have said I did not have permission to see the dreams that I am living now. But I am here because I went for it anyway.
Ashe.
That's
Let me
that's
say
that's
this.
there.
As a brown person in this country,
Hmm.
the fact that we have any hope and joy ever from our ancestors back is a testament that if you could believe it for yourself, because you've been living it without even trying. Your parents lived it before, your grandparents, your great anybody who made it through the middle passage, and those who didn't have
Hmm.
already experienced hope and joy in spaces where hope and joy was not even a question. And so
Preach, my
now,
sister.
as systematically that we are downtrodden. This is what I
Yeah.
think about. As a Black woman, I'm allegedly the bottom of the totem pole for anything of worth
Hmm.
beyond men, beyond white men, beyond white women, and beyond Black men. And what's so crazy? This is the crazy
Hmm.
part. Being a Black woman specifically
Hmm.
is, if I'm this cute and this joyful and have this much, not just me, I'm talking about Black sisters, okay? And cook
Come
this
on.
well, sing this
Come on.
well, dance this well, this creative, laugh this hearty, do all these things. Imagine what it would look like if you took your foot off my neck.
Woo! Ooh.
That
So
part.
let's take a moment for that to digest,
Hmm.
for the listener to receive what was shared. When the stage has been given to you, take it. There are so many stages waiting for you to take them every day. The moment your hope takes you to a place of possibility beyond what you've experienced, that is your stage. Take it. You are worthy. You are worthy. So, this has been an incredible episode. And I thank you, Eunice, for showing up in full as you always do, with your great wisdom, with your humility, and with your challenge for me to do the same. Before we go, I want to affirm our listeners with that very motivation, that pep talk that I spoke about earlier on fear. It's called Fear Ain't a Friend. And I'm going to read it now. And I want you to receive it and I want you to hear it. I want you to apply it. And I want you to rise up bigly in it. Fear ain't a friend. It ain't never been a friend. It's an illusion. A pure hypothetical with nothing real to fully back it up. What if I fail? But what if you win? What if you paused and took a beat? and identified all of the missing pieces you believe are necessary to claim your victory. And instead of being fearful of not getting it, take the time to strengthen what you do have and let courage lead the way to getting it. You should replay this pep talk moment back again, because I don't want you to miss it. Because when you get it, I'm confident the outcome will be something worth smiling about in the end. Fear is a brat, a spoiled little brat wanting attention and repeating a story over and over again that never even happened. Literally, fear is a movie projection full of what ifs, directed by insecurity and produced by uncertainty. It ain't real. It ain't happened yet. So who's buying tickets to that show? Ain't nobody got time for that. You got this. Now, I want you to let fear know that. And let's get back to winning. Beautiful people, my heart is full.
Mm.
Eunice, how about your heart?
I'm feeling
It's full
good.
too?
It's full. I'm ready. Like, let's go. What are we doing? Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Yeah.
This is going to be the week of shooting shots. Your vote is your shot.
Mm.
Your vote is your voice. Your shot is your power. Let's do it. Let's do it in the direction of better and beautiful for all people. Remember, purpose, it will always benefit not only you, but also the other person. And nothing less than that. Beautiful people, this is the hope in between. My name is Major Eunice Elliott, and we'll see you next time.